Up again. Miss Clayton,
Hi, mate. Well, Robert. Hello again.
Well, what are you doing here? Purely social. Social, perhaps. Purely never.
Bertie! Bertie, are you all right? Say something.
Where does this door go?
Back stairs down to the kitchen.
Be careful. The 3 steps are missing.
So I see. Who's that down there?
That's Pritchett.
Is he dead?
I don't know, from the way his neck is twisted.
Alan, check out the body, will you?
Will do.
Edward, get the police.
I was about to go down those steps myself.
If you had.
I mean no disrespect to the dead, my dear, but as soon as the police leave here, find that briefcase that Pritchett was always carrying around with him and stash it in my room, will you?
Of course. I can't believe he's gone like that. Bertie, it could have been you. It was meant to be you.
Oh, you read too many mysteries.
Oh, what a shocking, awful, awful thing. Has anyone notified that poor man's family yet?
Herbert's having Dr. Wallace take care of it. I believe he has a sister in St. Louis. One thing I could tell you for certain, Mother, his father will never have another carpenter in this house.
I hope Edward's resting all right up there.
Yes, I made him take one of his pills.
Anything?
He's dead, all right. Listen, would you mind sticking around? I might be able to use some of your help.
You got it.
I want to thank you all for staying here. We're going to have to question each of you, and it may take some time.
Well, Chief, you should know that Mr. Quartermaine, Mr. Herbert Quartermaine right here, is a very ill man.
Well, thank you. We'll take that into consideration.
Captain, I know that you're here to try and get as much information as you can, but you should also know that nobody in this room actually saw Pritchett fall down the stairs, so I don't know how any of us can help you.
Well, Alan, the chief has to question everybody at this stage because he's not sure whether he's filing an accident report or opening a murder investigation.
Well, in a word, I came to Port Charles to die, to spend my last days with my family and heal old wounds before it's too late. You know?
Well, how's that part going? The healing the old wounds, I mean.
Oh, well, I'm content, or was, until poor Pritchett pitched himself down the stairs.
Pitched himself?
Oh, by accident, of course, by accident. That's just a figure of speech.
All right. Thank you very much. What do you think? Seems like an open and shut case.
We talk privately. I have some information that might interest you.
Step into my office. And? What's up?
Remember that note I brought down to the PD for you to analyze?
Oh, you mean the old newspaper clipping routine? Yeah, sure. Did you find out who sent it or why?
Well, not quite, but Quartermaine there was the person who dropped it, and the person that it was sent to was sitting in that room.
Him? Herbert Quartermaine? He's terminally ill. Why would he want to... Why would anybody want to kill him for that?
Well, you see, some people don't have any patience. Now, in this particular case, they're afraid that the benefactor might change his mind and perhaps give the boodle to someone else.
It's becoming very interesting. The question is, do we have a murder on our hands here, the accountant, maybe a misfire intended for the old man?
I hope my husband was awake to talk to you. He was very shocked by what happened.
Well, he was very helpful, ma'am, but unfortunately he added no new information.
He's resting now, love.
Oh, perhaps Cousin Eddie pushed poor old Pritchett down the stairs himself, thinking it was me in the dark.
You really have a hell of a sense of humor, Robert.
Well, somebody needs to lighten this place up. Officers, how long is this going to go on? I mean, isn't it clear to everyone what happened?
It's negligence. It's pure and simple neglect.
As I said, it was an accident. A sorry mess. Pritchett had been with me for over 20 years. You know, that dear man actually cared about all those columns of figures of someone else's money.
Look, I'd like to ask you all a few questions, if I may.
The chief has already taken our statement.
Yeah, but I didn't.
Robert, need I remind you?
Please, just give me a few minutes. A couple of questions. All right. Who in the room knew that Herbert was going to use those back stairs this afternoon? I mean, just give us a general show of hands here.
Well, I'd been complaining about the distance between my room and the front stairs, and Lila told me about this old staircase, and I guess it had been covered up to make some room for some bookshelves or something.
That was several years ago.
But who found out that the stairs were unsafe?
Well, the carpenters right away. They just had to replace the treads. They said they'd be finished this afternoon.
I've got to say, I really do feel responsible in a very big way for Pritchett's death. I really do.
Do you mind explaining that, Dr. Quartermaine?
You see, the carpenters were making an awful lot of noise, and they were right next to my father's room, and he was really bothered by it. So I was the one who told them to knock off and come back tomorrow.
Did you tell anyone else you'd done that?
No, I didn't really see any need to, because the contractor said the whole area was going to be sealed off, and I took him at his word.
Sam, get in touch with the contractor. Get him down here as soon as possible.
Yes, sir.
He's probably out trying to get a lawyer to defend himself.
Hey, look, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to step on any prerogatives back there.
All right, I learned something. Tell me what's on your devious mind.
Okay. They're all making a nice game of this poor old Pritchett bit. All right?
Uh-huh.
But here's a guy that's been involved with some of these members here for half a lifetime. He was part of the inner family circle. Wouldn't you think there'd be someone here that could shed a tear for this bloke?
Mr. Quartermaine. Everybody in this house is named Quartermaine. Mr. Herbert told me a few days ago to open up the old stairwell. Many of the steps were dead rotten, but it could be fixed.
And you said it could be fixed today.
Would have, too, but Dr. Quartermaine there told me his father was trying to get some rest. Finish up tomorrow. The doctor will tell you, I protested that. If he had let us keep on going, the steps would have been done in another hour. That guy would be alive this minute.
As I said earlier, it's quite true. Mr. Monks was very upset, and I've got to tell you something. So am I.
Oh, Alan, how could you possibly have known?
Mr. Monks, did you do anything to secure the area? Warning?
Everything I could possibly do. See, I always have this warning tape, bright yellow. It says, danger zone, do not enter. I pasted that across the door.
Bright yellow tape. I didn't see it. Sam?
No, sir, I didn't see anything like that.
Me either. Did anybody else see the warning?
No. This stuff here, I'm telling you, I posted that across the door. I did everything possible and more than is legally required.
Now, just a moment. I can tell you that I certainly saw no yellow ribbon across that door when I came by.
If the ribbon had been there, wouldn't there be something left? A tape or something?
Maybe somebody took it down.
Yes, we might find it in the garbage.
Well, no. Unless Mr. Monks here is lying to try to avoid a negligence.
Hey, watch out who you're calling a liar, pal. I've got witnesses and a lawyer.
Good, because you're going to need them.
What are you saying?
Oh, be quiet, all of you. Though I beg your pardon, Lyle. What they are saying is a lot of damn nonsense. Nobody's trying to say that you're a liar, Mr. Monks. In my opinion, what happened to Mr. Pritchett was a terrible accident. There's an explanation, we just haven't found it yet.
Well, it seems to sum it up, wouldn't you say? We just haven't found it yet.
Well, I don't really buy that contractor's story. He sounds like a guy who's more worried about a lawsuit than about how Pritchett got in that stairwell.
I don't know. Somehow I can go along with that. You think about it. It's the easiest thing in the world to remove that warning from the door by anybody who happened to know that Herbert was going to use those stairs this afternoon.
And Pritchett just happened to be the unlucky pigeon who got what was intended for Bertie.
Come on, Bertie. Upstairs. You're going to have another collapse if you don't get some rest.
Now, don't get pushy, my dear. I want to have a word with Mr. Scorpio.
Well, there's not a whole lot I can say or the police can do until that autopsy comes in.
Well, I heard what the police chief said after he spoke to the servants. None of them ever saw that warning sign in the stairwell door either.
Well, you see, that doesn't make any difference because the servants never come upstairs in the afternoon until they're summoned.
You think the contractor's lying? Why?
No, he's not lying. He's not even involved.
He seemed like a very honest man to me.
So what happened to the warning?
Look, whoever is trying to murder Bertie took the sign down because they knew he was coming that way. That's the only way Pritchett's death is an accident. The killer got the wrong person.
You know, your concern for me is very flattering, my dear, but I wish you would stop talking about murder.
I'm telling the truth, and no one will listen.
I'm listening.
Child, you just listen to an old man for a change, will you? Now, death to the young is much more of a terrible thing because you have so much more to lose. Oh, everybody's looking for an explanation, but there is none. It's just that finger of fate meandering around amongst the middle of us here. Pritchett's death was an accident. That's all that it was. Now, you're trying to build it into something else well, it's a game, and somebody's liable to get hurt.
Do you even believe there's a threat to Bertie's life?
Oh, my darling, you worry about me much too much.
Well, look, I can't stand the thought of something happening to you.
Well, let's put it this way. I believe it could be possible.
Well, then I'll let you two mother hens worry for me. Is that all right?